Hello there, this is the newspaper review here on TAF TV, where we give Nigerians the opportunity to air their views regarding headlines that are making rounds this very morning. Ayo Keme is my name and I am your host for today. Now quickly, let's run into the headlines and see what the headline has for us this very morning. Now first, we're considering the Daily Trust, and the bold headline here says, Supreme Court's verdict, local councils must now account for own actions, says Tinubu. Details of that is found on page 4. Sub-story under here reads, Catholic Bishop Uluma rejects Samoa agreement. Details of that is found on page 10. 250 minimum wage realistic, Tinubu tells Labour. You can read that up on page 10 of the Daily Trust. Akpabio, Lawan clash over change to Senators plenary time. Details of that is found on page 13. Alright, lastly, on the bold line, her headline here says, Ex-Power Minister Maman remanded in correctional centers. Details of that is found on page 12. Alright, now moving on, we're considering the leadership. And on the front page of the leadership, it says, Local Government Financial Autonomy, Supreme Court Judgment throws up national debate. You can read that up on page 4. Minimum wage, Tinubu, Labour adjourned for more consolidation. Details of that is found on page 7. Alleged fraud, court to try Ganduje, 7 others in absentia. Details of that is found on page 18. Alright, lastly for today, we're considering the Daily Sun, and on the front page of the Daily Sun it says, Tinubu welcomes local government autonomy. Details of that is found on page 6. Minimum wage, federal government, Labour talks deadline lock. Details of that is found on page 26. And an interesting story here says on page 26, it says, Samoa agreement, propose amendment or withdrawal, Catholic Bishop tells federal government. Reps move to protect journalists against arbitrary arrest and detention. You can read that up on page 4. Nigeria paying for consequences of 27 trillion ways. You can read that up on page 25 of the Daily Sun. Alright, that's all we have for you regarding the headlines that are making rounds. Let's hit to the street and hear the reactions of Nigerians regarding these headlines. Do well to stay tuned. You're welcome there.
Thank you.
Quickly, I would like your thoughts on the Daily Trust that says Supreme Court's verdict, local council must now account for own actions. Now, this is coming from our dearest president, Bola Tinubu. You know, as of yesterday, the Supreme Court, the Apex Court, actually granted full dominatory rule in terms of finance to our local government personnel. So what's your take on it?
I think it's good. It's a way of making changes. Since the finances has been going through the state government to the local government, I think the bridge has some issues with it. Because of the bridges, I feel like there are some circumstances surrounding it, and then the local government tend to like hold on to the state that they are the reasons why they are not performing fine. Yeah. So just like an activist said, Femi Falan. Femi Falan said that it's a way of promoting accountability. So if this is what the government has should, the Supreme Court has decided, I think it's the best way, because so far so good. I think now the local government are now, because they are the closest people to the citizens. Yes, they are closest to the masses. So I believe that they can give proper accounts of the finances. Yes, because as it is, I feel like if they get to report to the state to the federal, for me,
the channeling is not proper.
Yeah, it's somehow, I won't say it's not proper, but it's somehow long. You get. The only thing I could advise the state to do is create some kind of forum between them and the local. Nobody is saying that they are hands off deck from the local government, but I feel like what they just need to is just create this kind of forum whereby they get to work hand in hand with the local government and to make it better and profitable to everybody. That's just it. Okay, now you spoke of accountability.
Yeah. Don't you think this would actually result to some level of fraudulent acts, more EFCC chasing our local government personnel?
Well, like I believe that as it is now, this is a full responsibility embedded on the local government. So it is now left for the local government to handle this, because this is a huge responsibility. You understand? So if any local government complains of lacking one or two necessities or facilities per se, you know this is the right person to hold.
You know the right channeling.
Yes, you're no longer going straight to the state government to complain. The local governments each know the problems of their communities and everything, so they are in charge. So if they are not able to give accounts of the funds, definitely you're holding them responsible. No longer the state government, you just hold them responsible for their actions. So I'm kind of soliciting that they show the people and the government that this decision they've taken is not a wrong step, that it is something impactable to the people.
All right, so you're actually saying, in essence, to whom much is given, much is expected.
Yeah.
Okay, now, quickly, as a Nigerian, I also like your thoughts on page 10 of the Daily Trust. It says Catholic bishops reject Samoa agreement. Now, this Samoa agreement has been approved by federal government. That is our LGBTQ. Some persons will actually say LGBTQI. Some say LGBTQA. Let's speak it from this angle. Do you think it's okay to actually bring in such things to our dearest nation, Nigeria?
It still boils down to religion.
Okay.
In this part of the African country, Nigeria is believed to one that upholds traditions and culture. So it is going to be very difficult. It's going to be a very difficult one for them to approve, because LGBTQ, we are not saying that it's not existing. No, it is, but then it is because for the fact that it has not been legalized, it is a hidden something. So let us not act as if it does not exist. It does. But then for the fact that some other countries have approved it does not mean we should check through our traditional background. We should go through back, forth and say, this is where we are coming from, this is where we are headed. So this shouldn't be what should be a stumbling block to our growth. LGBTQ has never been something that will promote our growth or downgrade our growth. I just believe that the church in question, whether Catholic or Pentecostals, they would definitely not agree with it. And if we're to put based on voting, I am certain 90%
of our churches around
will not approve.
Are not agreeing.
They will not agree to it.
So
because we've all imbibed culture. We are all bringing. So definitely, I believe that nobody is no. It's not something they should fight for. For the fact that other countries are doing it, you don't know what they've been through. You don't know their tradition. You don't know their culture. You don't know exactly what is guiding them. So this part of the nation, Nigeria itself, is LGBTQ. No, it's far from us. It's definitely far from us. It's not something I am certain that even in the next 100 years will be approved in this country. No.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
It's good to have you around.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Thank you very much. Now, quickly on the Daily Trust, it says Supreme Court's verdict: local councils must now account for own actions, says Tinubu. Now, the big question is, do you think our local government council were limited based on the fact that they were running a joint account from our various states?
I would say that prior to this time, to this judgment, because I would say that the judgment has not even started taking effect.
Obviously.
And we know Nigeria as a country that we find ourselves. Let me not even start talking bad on our nation. So let me just hit the nail on the head. Prior to this time, the local government and the state government were having joint account in terms of state allocation coming from federal government as to what should be used by each local government in the state. Now, we found out that when this money was going into the joint account, it was the state governor that tends to look out for whatever project that is being carried out in each local government. So what I'm saying in essence is that as a local government chairman, then for every project that you want to carry out, you don't know the particular amount that is coming to your local government at the end of the day. So you will meet the governor with your project. This is what you want to carry out in my local government, and it now boils down to what the governor thinks.
Decides, okay?
Say, okay, yes, so okay, is this project, yeah, this is what I can give out as regards this project. So at the end of the day, you find out that the allocated money coming for each local government does not go down to the local government directly. So you have to apply, okay, this is what I want to do. Then the governor looks at it and probably vets it before you personal opinion. So at that point in time, you find out that each local government chairman that is not in tandem in what a particular governor is doing in the state would find it difficult. It's just like how every engineering company in the nation sorts for contract.
Surely.
Definitely, you see the likes of Julius Berger, we've seen the likes of Lulu Briggs and all whatnot. Those are the two major ones in Port Harcourt. So let's say there is a road construction that is about to take place in Port Harcourt. Now these two big engineering companies, construction companies in the state would have to source their way to earn such projects. So going by that tangent, it is going to be the decision of the Commissioner for Work in respect with the state governor as to which construction company is going to go for that particular project. Now that is also the case when it comes to allocation of funds for local government. Now this is Obiakpo local government, one of the biggest local governments in Rivers State. Then we have the Bokana and others. Now let's assume that the Obiakpo local government is on the same phase with the governor of Rivers State, and he goes to him that he needs to execute a particular project that will cost, let's say, about 10 billion naira, as the case may be. And the local government chairman of LMA goes to the governor of the state and says, okay, well, there's a particular project I want to execute for, let's say, 8 billion naira, as the case may be. And owing to the fact that the local government chairman of LMA is not in the same phase with the governor of the state, there's a probability, a high level of probability, as regards to the fact that the money that is being meant for the local government is in the account of the governor.
Obviously.
He has the finance as to, yes. So at that point in time, he decides, okay, oh, you need 8 billion for this particular block, but this is how much I can release.
Okay.
So on that note, it is going to be difficult for the local government chairman to give account of what particular money is coming into his, because it's not being given out in public. You only know, okay, oh, this particular amount of money is coming to the state.
He just knows that alone.
That is the state. Now, but at this point in time, we want to account for each local government. The money that is being given to you by the federal government, as regards your local government, what have you done with it? What have you done? So for me, I feel like this is a good one, no doubt. This is a good one, because prior to this time, we've heard local government chairman, their association, they are coming out to say they need this. This is what they need. They have been clamoring for this over time, and as the case may be, governors are looking at the fact that this is not going to come to light.
Yeah, they never accepted it from the beginning.
They never saw it as.
They didn't like the idea.
But at the court judgment came in at the early hours of yesterday. As regards this, people are like,
yeah,
it's a good idea. Yeah, would it happen? But in as much as this is not even the discussion of the day, I always say it.
Obviously,
this is not the discussion of the day. We also saw on the papers as yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, where the governor of Benue State has given back fertilizer to his to farmers.
He made rounds yesterday.
That is what we want to see.
Okay.
Boost agriculture.
More of that.
Boost if the governor of Rivers State, let's say a particular state is being known for aquatic production and livestock and all of that, we want to see the state governor going to empower these people to do more, so that there will be more production. Now we know Benue State as the food basket of the nation.
Obviously.
And now we see the governor going back to give them what they need so that they can be more productive.
Away from road constructions and the likes. Away from our regular manifestos.
So, in as much as this is a good light,
yeah, surely,
in our country, in our dearest nation, in as much as this is a good light, but we should go ahead from this and push on. Yes, we want everybody in government to be accountable. We preach accountability, we preach transparency, and we preach credibility. So if at this point this allocation is being given to the local government chairman directly from the federal government, we want to see what they are going to use this money. It's not about coming out to say, oh, yeah, we want this, we want this.
And you have it.
Okay, now you have it. Let's see what you are going to do with it.
Okay.
So that is basic. That is just the basic thing that we need as of now. Let this judgment kickstart and let's see what is going to happen.
So we're obviously expecting a lot of change from our local personnel.
A lot of change, yes, we are hopeful. Okay. I always say Nigerians are very hopeful when it comes to our governors and our leaders and our local government chairmen and those we vote into power. We are always hopeful of what they are going to give back to us. But at the end of the day, in as much as we are not asking for so much, they always keep on disappointing us. Okay. They always disappoint us. They always, for me, I would say, see, the best governor as of now is the Benue State governor.
Wow, okay.
Because
in terms of the actions it took.
Because if you look at the nation that we are today, there is scarcity of food. People are crying. We are not being able to feed. So if you are giving farmers, enabling them, empowering them, so that they can go back to their farmland and produce more crops, what are we saying? Yes. The nation is going to benefit from it.
Surely.
So for me currently now, in as much as road construction is good,
yes,
no doubt, but let's tackle it from the key route.
Something different.
Yes, now I spoke to a friend yesterday, and he was congratulating me on a particular conversation we had, and he made mention of, he's an agriculturist, and he said the nation that we find ourselves today, people are going to tech and all of that, and he found out that he is struggling to be in that light. But there is one thing that he's been holding on to, which is what he studied in school, an agriculturist, and he noticed he's tried getting a farmland and planting tomato, and it came out well. Now imagine starting small from a space like that.
Okay.
Definitely you become one of the biggest agriculturists to contend with, not just in your state but in Nigeria as a nation. So that is what we want to see. Let every governor go back to their home, look at, okay, what do we have in our state? What are we producing? Yes. What are we giving to the nation? Because it's not about the state itself. Obviously. What are we giving to the nation? If a particular state is planting tomato, another one is planting pepper, somebody else is doing gari, another person is doing vegetable. Eba soup don ready. Eba soup don ready. So at the end of the day, it has to be, what are we as a nation giving back? So that is just the basic thing that we are looking at today.
Right. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
It's good to have you. Now, quickly, I would like your thought on the Daily Sun that says Tinubu welcomes local government autonomy. Now, all right, now our president is so excited about our local government finally having autonomy when it comes to fund. Do you think they were limited before now?
Yes.
Okay, why?
Because when you have a middleman, there's every tendency that the middleman must have their own share of anything that comes out. So now this is in fact a direct access to the federal government. So if you were to be the middleman, just answer this question: won't you have your courts?
Surely you always have a court. This is Nigeria.
The states themselves, before the local government can get to the federal, you know too well that the state must have collected one or two things as they be, as far as Nigeria is concerned. Obviously. So I think is a nice thing, and Tinubu being happy about it. In fact, me just the happy they go. Okay. Because to me, it makes sense.
It makes sense. Now, you know, in as much as we are pressing our local government council for having direct access, let's not forget that, just like you said, this is Nigeria. Nothing is impossible. You know, to whom much is given, just like I keep saying, much is expected. Did you think there will be a major change coming from our local government personnel? Do you think they will start carrying out major projects?
Carrying out a project is not the problem here, because we all know that even the federal that have the money, are they carrying out projects?
Okay, that's a huge question now.
Now, so whether the local government gets the money as they want, they are all Nigerians, and they will still do that same thing that made them Nigerian. So local government collecting 1 billion, 3 billion, 1 trillion from the federal government direct, this is not disturbing. No. So collecting such amount or huge amount from the federal government, whether they want to do it or they don't want to do it, is still left for them. But as for me, I will still tell you, Nigeria has no go area. They will still do the same thing that they want to do. Now just check it. The state government have their own budget, the federal have their own, the local government have their own. But all these things they have mapped out to do for the year, how far? No. Change. So it's not about collecting the money, it's not about implementing those things that you've already stood for years. That's my own take on that.
All right, so now you just spoke about implementation. I want you to rate the implementation level of this government on a scale of 1 to 10. Where will you place them?
Is it the state, federal, or the local?
Generally, this administration.
There is 2 over 10.
2 over 10?
Yes.
Okay, in terms of implementation?
Yes. Before I gave them 3 over 10, but now it's 2 over 10.
Okay, why?
Yes, we are in the season of Tinubu nation.
Okay.
That's it.
All right, sir. Thank you very much.
God bless.
All right, then. well, we have come to the end of our newspaper review here on TAF TV. You have been opportune to hear what Nigerians got to say regarding the headlines that are making round this morning. Remember, you also can be part of this show. Do want to follow us up on all our social media handles. And if you're yet to subscribe, come on, subscribe so that you get notified. My name is Okeme, and this has been the newspaper review here on TAF TV. Do well to take care of yourself.